Whaatalo whātu I lo sunga si o manu, whaapere whaafongaanga mai le mai moa Samoa, o mawhaina mau mai le tā whaasoa I le nei aso. Ia, ma lo le soifua maua, ma le langi e mama, o le ato tu ia le fiso mauna lau, lo o tau sā mawhainga Samoa, e le ngā whatau limaina I sau whatau waa. Ia tā alofa lava, o lo ingoa Paulina Tapua'i Soti, o lo o tau sui filifilia. Yeah, it's an honor to be here with you. Sio Manu, thank you for having me, Leki o Samoa.
Yeah, ma lo le sopo ma lo foi le fa mano si mai le vaingo la. Oli. And now I asked you off air how we can conduct this interview, and you said, well, probably mostly in English. Why have you decided that, Miss Paulina?
I think that this will cater to many of my own friends who will be watching this show. And also just being a part of the diaspora where I know Samoan isn't our most spoken language. I think it'll be more easier for me to be able to connect with our tupulanga here in the diaspora. So I think maybe this is good for everyone.
How about your grandparents watching?
Yeah. I'm very lucky to still be joined earthside by my great-grandmother, who's currently residing in Samoa, as well as my nana. They're very lucky that they have a granddaughter that they can interview at any time. So, yeah, whailok wha Samoa malako. So that's all right, I guess.
Now, Paulina, out of everything that you could have become, why did you want to be Miss Samoa, New Zealand?
I think it's a pivotal part of any Tamaitai Samoa's life, the Miss Samoa pageant. I find that it holds a very strong stance within our community, especially in the diaspora. O le mea ngau ma whauwhau I le taimina o Laiti.
Yeah.
And, you know, I could never have dreamt that this would be something that I would be able to see myself living. And now that I am in this role, I hope that there's another girl like me who is watching this and seeing themselves in my shoes. So, yeah, it was just something that I thought of when I was really younger. And when I had the opportunity, I felt like I should take it. And here we are. So I hope from this point forward, anyone else, whether they're in the diaspora or in Samoa, can see myself or themselves in my shoes.
Now, you're going to be representing us here in New Zealand and the diaspora, as you mentioned. What qualities does a Tausala Samoa or a Tamaitai Samoa should represent during the Te Wila Festival or during the Miss Te Wila or Miss Samoa 2025?
As the saying goes, e loa le tene ma le tama Samoa I le tū, ma le savali ma le tautala Samoa. You know a Samoan boy or girl by the way that they stand, the way that they talk, and the way that they speak.
Yes.
And I think that is a very true statement. I think what sets Tamaitai Samoa apart from any other tupulanga is definitely the values and the cultures and the traditions and practices we hold to ourselves and to our Samoa. So I believe that where you put God at the center and you serve your elenga o lo mātua ma lo ainga e ai fo I lo nuu, ma lo loku, then everything else will fall into place. So I believe that a Tamaitai Samoa is a godly person who lives according to the scripture and according to the wishes of their parents, amala nuu, and tautua to those very people.
Excellent. Are your parents watching this interview this afternoon?
I believe they are.
Now, for everybody's sake, can you tell us a bit about yourself, your education, and where are you from in Samoa?
Yeah, o te sau mai nuu a sa whātoa I le whanga, sa le uwhi no fuali'i, sa papali'i, ma sa le longa. I'm very proud to be from all those villages. And I currently work as one of the youngest gate agents for Air New Zealand at the Auckland International Airports. So if I do look familiar outside of this crown, it's probably because you see me speaking on the microphone all the time. So this is obviously not a new space for me. I went to Macaulay High School, graduated in the class of 2018. And Tio Manu and I did have a discussion earlier about why I didn't continue to pursue tertiary education. And I believe that education exists everywhere around us, not just in the formal setting of a classroom. And I believe that if we are to pursue our tertiary education, I highly recommend that you do so with genuine passion in your heart. And I hope that after this experience, maybe I too will find that passion to see something through in my tertiary studies in the future.
Funny you mentioned that, because I also told you that I interviewed somebody who's got 3 degrees and doing something totally different right now. And it's, in a way, it's sad. And the other part of it, it's something that really happens in New Zealand. It's when the parents ask or tell you, look, because of our status, this is what you need to achieve. Now, would that be something that would hinder you trying to be who you are or doing what you want to become?
I am very blessed. My dad holds a master's in maritime studies. And so I have grown up knowing how powerful education is, but also knowing that we are more than capable to be in those spaces.
Yes.
So I would have to say that I don't think the idea that we may not be able to achieve such a thing would hinder my ability to pursue tertiary education, because I have role models like my dad who have showed me otherwise from a very young age. And because my dad has gone on to use that degree to give myself and my siblings the life that we have, it only inspires me more to know that there is no such thing as not being invited or not fitting in to a seat at the table.
That's right. Now, a lot of young Samoan ladies out there would want to be one day sitting where you're sitting right now. Now, you said you wanted to be a Miss Samoa when you were young. How young were you when you were thinking about becoming Miss Samoa?
I don't know if I was thinking of becoming, but I had watched it with my grandmother and great-grandmother and mum back when I was probably about 9 or 10. It used to come up late at night, or they used to have those old DVDs that they used to insert into a DVD player. If anyone remembers that, that's much younger than me. But yeah, I was probably about 9 or 10 when I knew about the Miss Samoa pageant. And then it was kind of just something that I independently started watching as I just grew older.
Yep. And now that you've become Miss Samoa, now you're going to head over to Samoa. What would you bring onto the table coming from New Zealand as Miss Samoa New Zealand to the competition? I know it's not going to be easy, because when it's held in Samoa, everybody looks to Samoa as the foundation of all Samoans. But we should be able to take something to the table and present it to all the Samoans, not just in Samoa, but worldwide as well.
I absolutely agree with you. I think that, or I would like to think that my heart for the purpose and for the platform would be something that sets me apart. This year, the line of contestants is so strong. And while many might think that might make me a little bit uneasy, it actually makes me even prouder to be wearing this crown and this sash, because it's important to note it isn't just mine. This is for everyone. I'm just wearing it, but it's something that belongs to each and every one of us. So I like to think that it's my heart for the purpose, for the platform. I like to think that I'm bringing over my experiences of the New Zealand diaspora, which is obviously different to those from Australia and the States, and also those in Samoa.
Yes.
And I also think that with these experiences that I have here in New Zealand, they help shape me into Tamaita'i Samoa that might not otherwise be seen in our native paradise of Samoa.
Now, you've got couple more weeks before you guys head off to Samoa?
Yes, we fly out next week, Saturday morning.
How's the feeling and how many of you are heading to Samoa?
Again, I'm just so blessed. A lot of my family are heading over to Samoa. I'm pretty much taking my whole house except the kitchen to Samoa. I'm also taking along my committee, our amazing director, Sio Manu Te Va, my amazing makeup and hairstyling team from Jovi Studios, as well as our creative director, Brian, and my designer, Paula, and my chaperones, Sylvia and Christina, as well as my mum, dad, aunties, uncles. Mika fo'i lo'u nana because she's already in Samoa. She's already in Samoa getting everything prepared.
Now, was it hard for you to become a contestant in the Miss Samoa New Zealand competition earlier in the year?
There was a lot to the registration process, absolutely. We did have to film a lot of things, get a lot of things ready. And for the actual pageant itself, there was a lot of preparation that I would never have known as someone who had only watched the pageant and had never been a part of one ever myself. There were a lot of things that you don't really see or realize goes into being in this space. So there was definitely a lot to have to work around, work towards, and understand.
And now you are the Miss Samoa. You're heading over to Samoa. What would differentiate you from all the other contestants from all over the world vying for that one spot, the top spot for Miss Samoa 2025-2026?
I was here at Likio Samoa earlier in the year for the Koko Samoa show that happens in the evening. And I had mentioned that I felt like this was a calling because I'm 25 now. I could have gone at any other time, but it just never felt right up until this year. And so I think what sets me apart is definitely that individual and independent calling I had coming into the pageant. I genuinely believe that God has something in store and has bestowed something upon me that he wants me to share with our tupulanga and our Samoa over there. So I believe that whether it's my heart for our people, whether it's my heart for our culture, whether it's the experiences that I have to bring, or whether it's just the person that I am and the energy that I bring into the spaces, I believe those are the things that God has really called me to go out and share.
Now, if you do become the next Miss Samoa 2025-2026, what would be your message to the world about Samoa with everything that's happening around us, not just in New Zealand, but also in Samoa and around the world?
One of the things that I love to tell non-Samoans about Samoa is how close we are to our culture and how close we are to our history. I think it's such a beautiful and overlooked thing to know that we don't only have our verbal ngangana, e ai fo'i le siva Samoa, there's also music. When you go into our Samoan churches especially, the besses that we sing, the voices that we have to praise and uplift the man who has given us everything is a very surreal experience. And I think surreal is the word to explain what happens when you go into Samoa, because you don't step into an entirely new universe. You step into a world that genuinely loves the man who made everything, and you see it in the way that we use our artistic skills to paint our rocks, to create these beautiful statues and these beautiful welcoming banners. You also see it in the way that we all live exactly like our ancestors lived, with a little bit of evolution and in the industry development in there as well. But, so many of us are connected to our ancestors because of our ways of storytelling, such as Siva Samoa, such as Bese.
Yes.
And that is such an important thing to our identity as Samoans and to our culture and to our paradise. And I think it's something that needs to be shared because it's what sets us apart, but it's also what brings us together.
Fantastic. Well, we would like to wish you the very best for the upcoming event in Samoa. But I'm pretty sure it's not just you that make this happen. You mentioned your dad, who's a hard-working man, and also your mum and your extended family, friends and relatives, and everybody that's put this together for you to be able to go to Samoa and compete in the Miss Samoa. Are there any people, specific people that you want to make mention of that have been supporting you from day one?
First and foremost, I will always have to give thanks to God above. Well and truly, nothing of this sort could have ever happened without his love, his grace, his guidance, and his calling. But I also want to give a very special mention to my parents who have been such amazing mentors. It's so important to note that a lot of people will just see me here, but there are also my parents who are the backbone of everything I do, who are the voices to keep me sane and be able to continue to do what I do. So Mum and Dad, if you are watching, thank you so much for your love and support. And just to my extended family and friends for all their love and outpouring of support, whether that was by contributing to the fundraisers, whether that was your words of encouragement online, whether that was just coming up to me and letting me know that I have someone there with me at all times. It's so refreshing in this space. And I just want to thank everyone else who has been in the background supporting me as well. Thank you. Everything means so much, and a little truly goes a long way for me, whether that's a hi, whether that's a I'm proud of you, whether that's a congratulations. It all means so much.
And final word for everybody that's watching and listening this afternoon?
My final words for everyone who is watching and listening is to know that when you put God at the center of everything, everything else will fall into place. Whatever it is you are going through, you will get through. And something that my dad has bestowed upon me especially in those tough times where the negative feelings are taking over, it just means you haven't prayed enough. So keep praying, pray through everything, and you will see the light at the end.
Miss Samoa New Zealand, Miss Paulina Tapua'i Soti, we want to thank you for taking time out to come on board Radio Samoa and to share your journey with us, not only as Miss Samoa New Zealand, but your preparations to compete in the Miss Samoa 2025 in Samoa. We just want to reiterate once again, wishing you all the very best for the competition in Samoa, and we will be watching and supporting you from behind the scenes. So thank you again for your time. Manuia telelanga i atu Samoa, whamanuia le tua tātou whilo i aisa so iluma.
Ia whaatai mo lo ua wanoa, e mo mole atu lo whaamalo ma whaawitai lau sunga si o manu ma le leki o Samoa mo lo ua wanoa. Ia, whaatai fo i Samoa i lau tapua inga mau, ia whaamalulu atu pewa a whai sala le ngangana.
Oh, ia.
Ma ua le tau tamali i lau whaafungaanga. Ia. Manuia tele lau tapua inga Samoa, soifua ma whaatofa inga.
Ia, soifua ia ma ia manuia. O le tausala o Samoa lua fe lua lima lua fe lua ono i New Zealand, le tamitai a Paulina Tapua'i Soti e pe o nei e le tātou whilo i ngai. Le so, tau i nei Aoauli Ma Sao le wha moe e pe o le tāpena tuaila na komiti ma o na ainga wome masani i le sa i linga leo tausala o Samoa le tausanga lua fe lua lima lua fe lua ono i le masino Novema i Samoa e pe o na lausi le fiai.